Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome to another Cosmic Trial guide for Marvel Heroes Omega for PlayStation 4 and both Xbox One. Now, in this video, I will be covering a hero that I put off for quite some time because I heard how difficult the trial was with him, but I actually done it on my first attempt here, so yeah, really wasn't too bad at all. The hero in question, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title, is of course Black Panther. So what I will do in this video anyway to help you out is I'll show off the skills and talents I've used. We'll then run through the Cosmic Trial showing off the actual gameplay and how all the skills work together, and then at the end I'll bring up the gear to show off that I have in fact been able to pass it with simply super heroic gear, no legendary and just regular artifacts. So that way if you're new to the game this will hopefully help you, or if you're relatively well geared this build should make it really nice and easy for you. So first off anyway, let's have a look at the skills and talents. For this trial then we are using a wide selection of different range skills he actually has. Now we do use a main range spender which I normally avoid in Cosmic Trials, but this one actually has fantastic ranges up there with Hawkeye and his bow for how far across the screen you can fire this off and hit enemies, so it's great for that reason. And it's triple throw it's called, so it's 3 daggers that get thrown out and it does bonus damage to enemies that are chilled. Now I can't actually see a chill tag anywhere, so if I'm missing something do let me know in the comments below. The next skill we have is Jungle Snare, so you throw this out, it works as a dot, it only lasts for a few seconds which is a pity because generally dots last for around about 8 seconds which is the length of the cooldown, but it is nice in that it gives you vulnerability on the enemies and it immobilises them as well. We then have Mobile Minefield which is great. This is another dot skill and this has got a higher duration than the previous skill than Jungle Snare. Next up we have Cryo Dagger, so you'll throw this out, it will freeze the enemy, slow them down, but it's not a chill which is what I thought this might be to synergise with the main spender. So again, if you can see the chill anywhere else do let me know, but with that you'll throw it out, it will freeze them, slow them, and more importantly your next Fan of Knives will brutally strike. Now Fan of Knives is this particular skill here, so this can do a huge amount of damage. You want to line up as many enemies as you can because it will pierce them before you fire this off and you'll see lots of red numbers all over the screen. We then have Unseen Predator, so this is a nice buff. It will conceal yourself, it gives you crit hit rating, the buff lasts for 8 seconds, and through talents we've got this so it can help us actually sustain our spirit, because otherwise you will have problems with spirit on them from spamming all your skills. Now the final skill we look at is Wrath of Bast, so this hits for a nice amount, it terrifies the actual enemies, it gives you a buff for 5 seconds of a huge 1200 damage rating, and it's on a pretty low cooldown of 20 seconds, so make sure to fire this off when it's available. Now just before we look at the talents I will mention with Wrath of Bast we have it set up so that it actually summons some Donor Millage to fight alongside you as well, and when we look at the talents I'll explain why I've got it set up that way, but let's have a look at them now. So the talents here are really very simple and they're all around buffing the range skills we're using. The first one is Focused Throws, so with this your main spender triple throw deals 75% more damage and it now costs spirit. We then have Reaping Fangs, and this is the one that gives you the 100% chance to brutal strike after you use a Cryo Dagger on your Fan of Knives, and also you gain a 10% bonus damage to range powers. We then have Wakandan Will, so Unseen Predator automatically activates when you fall below 30% health, so I really like this. This alongside actually using the skill means we can have a pretty nice uptime on it because we'll be taking a lot of damage here. Next up it's Patient Hunter, so Jungle Snare becomes ranged and it gains 25% damage there, and it does remove the dot from Savage Strike but we're not using it, that doesn't impact us. Now for talent line number 5, the first setup I was using was Indomitable Doras. Now the way this works is when you're attacking the Doras will come out and they have a 20-second duration and 20-second cooldown, but what will happen, because our gear isn't the best, our health is low, meaning their health is low, meaning they'll be knocked out. Wouldn't be too bad because they should respawn after 20 seconds, but that doesn't happen. Once they get knocked out it must be a bug, they don't come back in again. So for that reason you're far better using Pride of Wakanda. So when you use your signature, Wrath of Bast, you'll summon the Donor Malage, and if they get knocked out, next time your summon is up, you call them back in again automatically. So it's really worthwhile using this because they do a bit of tanking for you and it allows you to fire off all your ranged skills. But what we'll do now, talents and skills covered, we will have a look at the actual gameplay.
Some prey can only be hunted by the Black Panther. That object will harm no one now. One or a dozen, it matters not. That cannot be done. This was inevitable.
Hail, Immortal Hydra!
forces.
And there we go. So that really wasn't too bad at all there. Now, if we bring up the gear to show it off, as mentioned, super heroic. We actually only have heroic for slot 3 and nothing special artifact wise, and we were still able to pass it there. So, as always, I hope this was useful. Any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see you all again soon.